There comes a moment in every life where silence grows louder than noise, where the mirror stares back, not with judgment, but with a question. Are you becoming who you were meant to be, or who you've been told to be? Every day, this question hangs in the air, waiting, not with pressure, but with possibility. You see, success isn't some mysterious mountain reserved for the chosen few. It's not a trick of fate or luck. It's not for the lucky, the born rich, the well-connected. No, success is a decision made not once, but daily, quietly, relentlessly, in the unseen hours, in the uncomfortable moments, in the choices no one claps for. Every day is a vote for your future. Every small step, a silent declaration. I'm not staying where I am. The problem is, most people don't realize that every step counts. They wait for the big leap, the spotlight, the perfect timing. But life doesn't reward those who wait. Life rewards those who work, who refuse to retreat, who understand that progress isn't loud, it's consistent. That greatness isn't a mood, it's a mindset. That every ordinary day is a divine opportunity to take one extraordinary step forward. So, let's make a decision right now. Let's stop worshiping comfort. Let's stop begging for motivation. Let's stop playing small to protect our fears. From this moment forward, we rise on disciplined step at a time. Because every day, every breath, every sunrise is another step closer to success. And it begins not with the world, but with you. Attitude, the architect of everything. Attitude is not decoration. It's not a smile pasted over despair. Attitude is the architect of reality. It is the software that runs the operating system of your life. If it's outdated, if it's infected with victimhood, if it's corrupted by excuses, you will build failure, even while working hard. But if your attitude is upgraded, sharp, focused, hopeful, and grounded in personal responsibility, then even in chaos, you build something meaningful. Every day, people wake up and hand their attitude over to circumstance. They say, I'll be in a good mood if today goes well. But that's like saying, I'll believe in the sunrise if it's sunny. No, your attitude must precede your outcomes, not follow them. Your energy leads your results. Your outlook shapes your output, and your belief drives your behavior. Don't ask, what's going to happen today? Ask, what am I going to bring to today? You want to know how millionaires think? They don't wait for circumstances to align. They align themselves with what they desire. They show up with belief before proof. That's what separates winners from wishers. You don't get rich by accident. You get rich by habit. You get rich by vision. And vision is born in attitude. So if you want to change your life, don't start with your bank account. Start with your mindset. Because your attitude is your asset. Communication. Speaking the language of value. The most underutilized wealth-building skill on earth is this: learning how to communicate with power. Not to impress, not to manipulate, but to connect, to lead, to shift minds and unlock doors that talent alone can't open. There are people right now less talented than you, less experienced than you, earning more than you, because they learned to speak their value. Understand this: your value is not just in what you do, it's in how you convey it. You could be a genius at your craft, but if you speak with uncertainty, you'll be overlooked. You could have wisdom that could change lives, but if you mumble your message, the world won't hear you. Words create perception. Perception creates opportunity, and opportunity creates wealth. Every day you remain silent about your greatness is another day you choose invisibility. Learn to communicate. Learn to tell your story without apology. Learn to present your ideas without shrinking. Learn to articulate your dreams without begging for permission. Speak as if the world depends on your clarity, because your world does. And remember, communication is not just what you say, it's how you show up. Your energy speaks before your mouth opens. Your posture is a paragraph. Your eye contact is a statement. Don't wait to be discovered. Be unforgettable. Self-discipline. The invisible currency of winners. If success had a scent, it would smell like sweat. If it had a sound, it would be silence at 5 a.m. before the world wakes up. If it had a texture, it would be the rough grind of repetition. Self-discipline is not punishment. It is liberation. It frees you from regret, from chaos, from mediocrity. It's the invisible contract between who you are now and who you are becoming. The average person avoids discipline because it feels like restriction, but the master embraces it because it is the path to freedom. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. It's putting purpose over pleasure, long-term vision over short-term comfort. It's eating the broccoli when your mind screams for cake. It's saying no to the party because your dream didn't RSVP. It's opening the laptop, closing the social media, making the call, finishing the rep, writing the plan, studying the course. Not once, but again and again and again, until success becomes inevitable. Do you want power, authority, mastery? Then fall in love with discipline, not the result, the process. Because in the end, discipline is not what builds your dream. Discipline is what builds you. Mindset. The garden where everything grows or dies. Your mindset is not an accessory. It is the soil. Every belief you plant grows in that soil. Every habit, every action, every result sprouts from your internal world. So here's the truth. You cannot out-earn your mindset. You cannot out-perform your self-image. You cannot build a castle with the blueprint of a shack. You must begin within. Most people try to change their lives from the outside, in new job, new car, new clothes, new location. But that's like repainting a broken engine. It looks better, but it doesn't run better. You want a better life? Build a better mind. And that starts by eliminating the two thieves that rob you daily. Doubt and delay. Doubt whispers, you're not enough. Delay says, you can do it later. Together, they bury your potential in a graveyard called almost. But not you. Not anymore. You're going to learn to challenge the lie. Rewrite the narrative. Plant something stronger. From this moment, you wake up and choose intention. You say, I am the architect. I am the authority. I am no longer negotiating with mediocrity. Because if your mind doesn't believe in the vision, your life will never reflect the mission. Mindset is not just positivity. It's not chanting affirmations while avoiding action. It's war. A quiet, relentless war between who you are and who you could be. And the only way to win that war is to keep showing up. Every day. One step closer. Habits. The invisible hand that sculpts your future. The world sees the success, but the habit built it. The mansion didn't appear. It was laid brick by brick, decision by decision, done when no one was watching. You want wealth? Develop the habits that wealth requires. You want influence? Develop the habits that influence demands. You want health, peace, confidence, clarity? Then you must train for it daily. Habits are proof that discipline lives in your bones. They are the compound interest of personal greatness. They start small, so small they feel insignificant. Waking up 30 minutes earlier. Reading 10 pages instead of scrolling. Stretching before bed instead of drinking yourself numb. Tracking your finances instead of ignoring your bank balance. But here's the secret. Small hinges swing big doors. It's not about dramatic change. It's about relentless repetition. The difference between you and the life you want is not talent. It's not luck. It's not even time. It's alignment. Align your habits with your goals, or your habits will destroy your goals. Every action is a vote. Every choice is a seed. Every day, you are either building your dream or burying it. There is no neutral. So build. Build even when it's boring. Build even when it's hard. Build until who you want to be is no longer a fantasy but your default setting. Purpose. The fire that makes pain worth it. Life will hit you. It won't ask permission. It won't give you a warning. But if you have purpose, you don't break. You burn brighter. Purpose is not a job title. It's not something you find in a book. It's not something someone gives you. It's what makes you come alive. Purpose is why you rise when everything says fall. It's the voice in your chest louder than the noise outside. It's the reason behind the reps, the rejection, the resistance. And you must build it. You don't discover purpose lying on a couch. You forge it through pursuit. Do what challenges you. Do what scares you. Do what makes you feel. Because your purpose doesn't show up in comfort. It shows up in movement. And when you find it, everything changes. Suddenly the pain has context. The setbacks become fuel. The failures become fertilizer. You stop chasing approval. You stop comparing journeys. You stop waiting to feel ready. And you start walking with fire in your chest. Because now, you're not just surviving. You're becoming. Time. The only currency you never get back. Let's be clear. You can lose money and earn it again. You can lose relationships and rebuild them. You can lose opportunities and find new ones. But time, once it's gone, it's gone. Time is the most unforgiving, unstoppable, and unrelenting force you will ever face. Yet most people spend their time like it's infinite. Like tomorrow is guaranteed. Like next year will magically reward what they neglected today. But not you. You've decided to live like time matters. You've decided to stop spending your days and start investing them. You're not just passing time, you're multiplying it. You're buying back hours by being intentional. You're saying no to distractions, to drama, to dead weight. You're trading Netflix for knowledge, comfort for conviction, numbness for now. Because you understand the math of life. 1 wasted hour a day equals 15 wasted days a year. 1 wasted year equals 10 years off your dream. But 1 focused year can change everything. So treat time like the treasure it is. Guard it. Honor it. Use it. Because every second holds a seed of success if you plant it wisely. Belief. The root system of all results. Belief is not a luxury. It is necessity. Before success ever shows up in your life, it must first show up in your mind. You cannot build a future you don't believe you deserve. You cannot chase a destiny you think is beyond you. Every action, every decision is a reflection of what you believe is possible. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your beliefs. And belief isn't about hype. It isn't blind optimism. It is built brick by brick through evidence and exposure. You must expose yourself to greatness, to stories of triumph, to people who prove it's possible. You must build your belief by doing the hard things, by keeping promises to yourself, by showing up when quitting feels easier. Because every time you do what you didn't think you could, you stretch your belief. You prove to your mind that the old limits were lies. And when your belief grows, so does your life. The size of your dream will never exceed the size of your belief. So upgrade it. Believe, not because the world told you Tobit, because you've decided that your past is not your prophecy. You're not a prisoner to who you've been. You are a sculptor of who you're becoming. And belief, that's your chisel. Resilience, the muscle you build in the dark. Let's talk about pain. Not the kind you can post about. Not the kind that earns sympathy. The silent kind. The kind that lingers in the quiet. The kind that whispers, maybe it's not worth it. That's the battlefield of resilience. Resilience is the ability to stay standing while the storm rages. It's what remains when the applause fades, the motivation runs dry, and all that's left is you and the mountain. Success is not built by the strongest. It's built by the most willing to keep getting up. You want to rise? Then stop fearing the fall. Understand this. Pain is not your enemy. It's your trainer. It's the resistance that grows your capacity. Every setback is strength training for the soul. Every rejection is refinement. Every disappointment is instruction. Most people break at the sign of resistance. But those who win, they bend, they stretch, they endure, and they rise. Harder to kill, clearer in purpose, more dangerous to doubt. So when pain knocks open the door and say, teach me, because resilience is not the absence of struggle. It is the presence of something stronger than struggle you. The wealth mindset. Think rich before you are. Wealth does not begin in the wallet. It begins in the mind. If you think like a slave to your circumstances, you will serve your limitations forever. But if you think like a builder, if you begin to value your time, your skill, your focus, then, even with nothing, you have everything. Let's be real. Most people don't have a money problem. They have a mindset problem. They believe money is evil. They believe wealth is for other people. They believe that success must come with suffering. But that's not truth. That's programming. And if you want to change your wealth, you must change the code. Money is not the goal, it's a mirror. It reflects what you value, how you serve, what you believe. You don't chase money. You attract it by becoming a person of undeniable value. Wealthy people think in terms of systems, not paychecks. They invest in knowledge, not entertainment. They build assets, not liabilities. They create solutions, not distractions. You want to be rich? Then stop thinking like a consumer. Start thinking like a creator. Every day you choose your identity. Victim or victor. Beggar or builder. Follower or founder. And the world doesn't pay you for how hard you work, it pays you for the value you create. So don't just increase your hustle, increase your worth. And wealth will follow. Fear, the doorway disguised as a wall. There's a moment before every breakthrough when fear gets loud. It's the voice that says, don't try, you'll fail. Don't speak, they'll laugh. Don't move, it's not safe. That's not intuition. That's your old self panicking as your new self rises. Fear is not truth. It's a test. And most people fail it because they misread it. They see fear as a wall. But fear is not a wall. It's a door, and only the brave get to find out what's on the other side. What's funny is, the very thing you fear most is often where your future hides. The speech you're scared to give, that's the start of your influence. The call you're afraid to make, that's the bridge to your next opportunity. The business idea you keep doubting, that's the beginning of freedom. Fear will always be there, but it doesn't have to own you. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is action in spite of it. So walk through the fire, walk into the discomfort, walk toward the thing that shakes your bones. Because every time you conquer fear, you shrink its voice and expand your future. One step closer. Influence. You're always leading someone. Whether you realize it or not, you are a leader. Every word you speak, every choice you make, every standard you hold or break someone is watching. You don't need a title to lead. You need integrity. You don't need followers to be influential. You need alignment between what you say, what you do, and who you are when no one is looking. Leadership begins with self. You cannot lead others until you lead yourself. Lead your emotions. Lead your distractions. Lead your time. Lead your habits. And then, and only then, can you lead with power. Real influence is not about controlling people. It's about inspiring them to rise. It's showing them what's possible, not through speeches, but through standards. Every time you show up early, every time you choose courage over comfort, every time you stay consistent when others quit, you are shaping someone's idea of what's possible. You are raising the bar. And the most powerful influence you will ever have, the ability to look in the mirror and say, I followed through. I kept the promise. I became the person I said I'd be. That is leadership, identity. You act like the person you think you are. You don't behave based on your goals. You behave based on your identity. That's why someone can say they want to be successful but still sabotage every opportunity. Because deep down, they don't believe they deserve it. They haven't upgraded their self-image. They're still wearing the costume of their past while trying to walk into their future. But listen, your identity is not permanent. You are not bound by who you've been. You are not cursed by old mistakes. You are not the echo of someone else's judgment. Identity is a choice, reinforced by action, sealed by repetition. If you see yourself as a procrastinator, you will act like one. If you see yourself as unworthy, you will subconsciously reject every blessing. But if you begin to see yourself as a disciplined person, a leader, a builder of value, someone who finishes what they start, your life will bend to match that belief. You're not faking it. You're forging it. So speak it. Not, I hope I become. Say, I am consistent. I am powerful. I am becoming everything I was born to be. And then act accordingly. Because every behavior is a vote for the identity you're building. And when identity and intention align, success becomes inevitable. Emotional mastery. Control your state or be controlled. Let's get real. Most people aren't losing because of lack of talent. They're losing because of lack of emotional control. They let every trigger become a tornado. Every disappointment becomes a derailment. Every delay becomes a declaration of doom. But if you cannot manage your emotional state, you are not free. If your mood dictates your moves, you're a puppet of circumstance. You must become the thermostat, not the thermometer. You don't react to life. You set the temperature for how life affects you. Emotional mastery is not bottling things up. It's not pretending everything is fine. It's recognizing your emotions without worshiping them. It's having the awareness to say, yes, I feel this, but I don't have to obey it. Anger, fear, sadness, anxiety, they are signals, not shackles. They are calls to rise, not commands to retreat. Mastery is the ability to pause between impulse and action, to take a breath, to ask, who do I want to be right now? It's responding with purpose, not reacting with pain. It's the difference between self-control and self-destruction. And it is one of the highest forms of power you will ever know. Alignment. When who you are matches what you do. You want peace? Then stop living in contradiction. Because the most exhausting life you can live is a life out of alignment. Saying one thing, doing another. Pretending to believe, but secretly doubting. Looking successful, but feeling hollow. True success is not just external achievement, it's internal integrity. It's when your actions match your values. It's when your words reflect your truth. It's when the person in public and the person in private are the same. When you live in alignment, energy flows. When you don't, you feel drained, confused, scattered. Don't build a life that looks good and feels bad. Build a life that is rooted, whole, untouchable by surface level applause. Because alignment isn't just about doing the right things. It's about doing them for the right reasons. It's not performance. It's congruence. It's walking in your truth so deeply that the world can't shake you even if it doesn't understand you. Alignment doesn't always feel easy, but it always feels real. Self-worth. You train the world how to treat you. You teach others how to treat you by how you treat yourself. So let me ask you, what do you tolerate? What do you excuse? What do you allow in your space, your time, your energy? If you accept being undervalued, underpaid, unappreciated, it's not because the world is cruel. It's because you haven't declared your worth. And your worth is not based on your past. It's not based on your resume, not your upbringing, not your mistakes, not your scars. Your worth is intrinsic, but your expression of it, that's a decision. You must choose to show up with standards, set boundaries, speak truth, refuse to shrink, refuse to beg for crumbs when you were born to build tables. Self-worth is the foundation upon which all success stands. Without it, you'll build empires for others while doubting you deserve your own. But with it, you walk into rooms with quiet fire. You stop chasing and start choosing. You stop needing approval and start living in authority. Not arrogance, authority. Because when you know your worth, you don't compete. You command. Commitment. You become who you refuse to abandon. You can dream. You can plan. You can visualize. But if you don't commit, nothing happens. Commitment is not convenience. It's not passion. It's not temporary motivation. It's wartime loyalty to your vision, even when the world turns quiet, even when progress disappears, even when nobody understands. Commitment is staying in the room when it gets uncomfortable. It's waking up at 5 a.m. after a night of doubt and still moving. It's hearing the voice that says, just give up, and answering with, watch me keep going. Success doesn't come to those who are the best. It comes to those who refuse to leave the path. When others quit, they stay. When the excitement fades, they persist. When the fire dims, they become the spark. The difference between the person who becomes something great and the one who lives with regret is never circumstance. It's commitment. The greats never had guarantees. They had grit. And now it's your turn. Legacy. Your life is a message. Make it loud. You weren't just born to survive. You were born to echo. Every life touches another. Every word plants a seed. Every choice becomes a ripple in someone else's ocean. Whether you realize it or not, you are writing your legacy right now. In how you show up, in how you fight, in what you tolerate, in what you pursue. Your legacy is not defined by what you say, it's written in what you prove. Will your children remember your excuses or your example? Will your story be one of retreat or resilience? Will the world be slightly more alive, more awakened, more better because you dared to go all in? You are not just a name. You are not just a number. You are a force. And every time you take another step, every time you rise when it's easier to rest, every time you decide to keep becoming, you're shaping the story others will be inspired by. You are becoming the reason someone else doesn't give up. That's legacy. Not money, not status, not things, but the transformation you ignite just by being fully alive. Closing. Today is your turning point. No more waiting, no more doubting, no more asking for permission to be great. This is it. This is the moment that divides your past from your power. The moment you stop circling the mountain and begin climbing it. The moment you stop talking about success and start embodying it. Because the truth is, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience, from survival, from wisdom earned through fire, from failure that didn't finish you. You're not too late. You're right on time for your next level. And from this moment on, your mantra is simple. Every day, one step closer, one step in discipline, one step in boldness, one step in truth, one step in value, one step in who you were born to be. You don't need 1,000 steps today. You need one, then tomorrow, another, and the next day, another. And if you keep moving, no matter how slow, then success is not a matter of if, but when. So rise, wake up your mind, command your emotions, fortify your habits, speak your value, protect your time, live in alignment, declare your worth, ignore the noise, move with purpose, think with vision, walk like you belong, and believe deep in your bones that the life you want is not a fantasy. It is waiting for you on the other side of daily decision. So go build it, go earn it, go live it. Because every single day, with every single choice, you are one step closer to success. Energy. Guard the fuel that drives your future. Energy is not just a feeling. It is your currency. You can have talent, vision, drive, but if you're drained, you won't follow through. If your energy is scattered, your greatness is leaking. High performance is not just about time management, it's about energy management. And you must protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. Stop giving your best energy to things that don't build you. Stop trading your peace for approval. Stop surrendering your clarity to chaos. Stop letting low-energy people live rent-free in your high-value mind. Energy is not just physical. It's emotional, mental, spiritual. What you eat, what you think, what you believe, who you surround yourself with, what you tolerate, what you consume online, what you allow into your heart, all of it adds or subtracts from your future. So be ruthless. Clean your space. Cut off what drains. Invest in what fuels. You don't need more time. You need more presence in the time you already have. Because the most successful people are not always the most intelligent. They're the most energized, the most focused, the most intentional with their fire. And if you don't manage your energy, your excuses will. Environment. Success cannot grow in poison. Imagine planting a seed in toxic soil. You water it, you speak to it, you believe in it, but still it dies. Not because the seed was weak, but because the environment was wrong. The same goes for you. You cannot grow in a space filled with gossip, chaos, mediocrity, and passive aggression. You cannot evolve in rooms where your dreams are mocked, your boundaries are dismissed, and your greatness feels like an inconvenience to those around you. Success requires sacred ground. You must protect your environment like it's sacred, because it is. This includes the people you spend time with, the conversations you allow, the noise you expose your nervous system to, the media you consume, the beliefs that float in your atmosphere. Most people don't fail because they're not good enough. They fail because they're too loyal to toxic spaces. Your future deserves better soil. So walk away from what poisons you, even if it's familiar, even if it's been with you forever, even if it's wrapped in the face of someone you love. Because the cost of staying in the wrong environment is higher than the pain of walking alone for a season. Surround yourself with alignment, with vision, with truth, with energy that pulls you forward, and watch your life bloom like it never has before. Execution. The world pays for done, not intention. Let's get practical. The world does not reward your thoughts. It does not reward your dreams. It does not reward your vision board. It rewards what you finish. You can have the best ideas, the deepest purpose, the most powerful calling, but if you don't execute, it's just noise. Execution is not complicated. It's just rare. It's saying, I will get this done no matter what. It's learning how to move without waiting to feel ready. It's showing up on the days when your confidence is on zero. It's putting action before analysis. It's starting before you see the full staircase. Execution is gritty. It's not glamorous. It's not aesthetic. It doesn't always look good, but it always builds something. Ideas are cheap. Execution is wealth. The people winning in this world aren't always the smartest. They're the ones who finished. So whatever it is that's been on your heart, the book, the business, the move, the decision, the habit, stop thinking about it. Finish it. Consistency. Greatness is built in the days no one sees. If motivation gets you started, consistency gets you somewhere. Everyone starts strong. Everyone sets goals. Everyone posts the new me on January Honest. But only the few who stay when it stops being sexy become unstoppable. Consistency is the difference between temporary hype and permanent transformation. It's not about being perfect. It's about being predictable. Predictable to your standards. Predictable to your vision. Predictable in your pursuit of mastery. Let me tell you a secret. Success doesn't come to the person who moves the fastest. It comes to the person who doesn't stop. It's not about taking 10 steps forward and 5 back. It's about 1 step every day, even if it's small. Show up when you're tired. Work when no one claps. Practice when it's boring. Rebuild when life breaks you. Keep walking when others sit down. Consistency doesn't mean life won't get hard. It means you've decided that the hard won't stop you. It means your dreams are stronger than your excuses. So keep swinging. Keep stacking the wins. Keep becoming. Because momentum belongs to the committed. And if you refuse to quit, success can't help but meet you in the path. Courage. Fear never leaves you. Just outgrow it. People wait for fear to leave before they act. But fear doesn't leave. Fear evolves. Fear adapts. Fear follows you, whispering in different forms as you rise. You think the fear of starting is the biggest? Wait until you succeed, then face the fear of sustaining. Wait until you lead, then face the fear of being misunderstood. Wait until you're seen, then face the fear of exposure. But here's the truth. You do not need the absence of fear. You need the presence of courage. Courage doesn't mean you aren't afraid. Courage means you decided fear doesn't get the final vote. Every single time you act, in spite of fear, you reclaim power. You weaken the chains. You prove to your nervous system that you are not a slave to sensation. You become dangerous to mediocrity. And let's be clear, the world needs more dangerous people. Not violent, not reckless, but people unafraid to live fully, unafraid to be seen, unafraid to stand alone, unafraid to choose the hard path on purpose. So do it scared, do it trembling, do it sweating and doubting. But for God's sake, do it. Because courage is not a personality trait, it's a practice. And the more you practice it, the more you become a person the world cannot ignore. Truth, the most powerful thing you can stand on. You can lie to the world and still rise. But if you lie to yourself, you're already falling. You want to know what the real prison is? It's living out of alignment with your own truth. Pretending to love what you secretly resent. Smiling when your soul is screaming. Saying yes when your body says no. Numbing the voice that says, this is not who I am. Success without truth is sickness. Fame without integrity is rot. Money without meaning is a cage built from gold. Truth is the anchor that keeps you grounded in storms. It's the mirror that tells you you're off track. You're settling. You're capable of more. You were not born to pretend. And it's not always comfortable. Truth offends before it liberates. But liberation is worth it. When you stand in your truth, your no becomes sacred. Your yes becomes fire. Your direction becomes divine. So stop lying to yourself about how much time you have. Stop lying about how fine you are. Stop lying about how maybe one day will save you. One day is today. And truth, that's where everything real begins. Transformation. Becoming is a process of fire. Transformation doesn't feel like magic. It feels like death. The death of who you used to be. The death of patterns that used to protect you. the death of relationships that no longer recognize the new you. You see, transformation is not comfortable. It's not pretty. It's not designed to please the world. It is violent in its clarity. It is surgical in its removal. It is sacred in its demand for total surrender. Most people avoid transformation because they don't want to lose parts of themselves. But here's the paradox. You can't become who you are until you let go of who you're not. You can't carry your future while clinging to your past. You can't rise in value while holding on to small thinking. You can't enter the next chapter if your hands are full of expired pages. Transformation will cost you the comfort of familiarity. But what it gives you in return is worth every tear, every loss, every silent night of doubt. It gives you clarity. It gives you power. It gives you freedom. It gives you alignment. And the only requirement is this. You must let the old you die, because your next level doesn't recognize who you used to be. It's calling the version of you that knows how to answer. Destiny. You are not random. You are required. You are not here by chance. You are not some accident in the cosmic lottery. You were born for a reason. You were sent here with something this world needs, and if you don't deliver it, that void remains unfulfilled. Your voice matters. Your energy matters. Your presence changes rooms. Your story awakens others. Your courage gives someone else permission to rise. That is not ego. That is assignment. And you cannot fulfill that assignment by shrinking, by hiding, by trying to please everyone. You must step fully into it, because destiny doesn't chase. It calls, and only the brave answer. Destiny is not a destination. It is a posture, a way of being, a daily devotion to who you were designed to become. But it won't force itself on you. You must choose it. You must fight for it. You must bleed for it. You must trust it when the plan makes no sense, but the purpose won't leave you alone. Your destiny is written in the way your heart breaks for what others ignore. It's found in the dreams that won't die no matter how many times you fail. It's hidden in the very thing you keep trying to suppress. And if you follow it with everything you have, you will become unstoppable, no, because of your strength, but because you're finally aligned with the truth of why you were born. The long game. Master the power of staying in the race. The world loves speed, but destiny loves endurance. We're taught to obsess over how fast we can make it, how quick we can get rich, how fast we can grow followers, how soon we can feel successful. But let me tell you what greatness actually respects. The long game. The person who plants seeds and waters them for years, even when there's no fruit. The person who chooses mastery over attention. The person who works in silence while the world chases clout. The person who endures 0 quiet hours, so that when their time comes, they are ready. Success is not about explosive beginnings. It's about sustainable momentum. And the only way you build that is by staying in the game longer than the voices telling you to quit. Let the others burn out chasing hype. You'll build legacy by staying rooted, because the fruit always shows up if the root doesn't quit. Spiritual alignment. Move with something greater than you. There is a force beyond motivation, beyond talent, beyond strategy. It's called spiritual alignment. It's when what you do on the outside matches what you know deep inside. It's when your actions become extensions of your soul's instructions. That's not religion. That's reverence. It's waking up and saying, use me, move through me. Let my life mean something bigger than me. Because purpose without spiritual power is a house without foundation. You can climb the ladder, but it will collapse under pressure. But when you move in alignment, doors open that logic can't explain. Strength rises when you should be tired. Resources come when you've run out. Peace covers you in the middle of the fire. Because now you're not striving, you're walking in design. You've become a vessel, and the work you do becomes divine. Live as your future self. Now, stop waiting. Stop saying, one day. Stop negotiating with your greatness. Your future self is already alive, but it's waiting for your permission to show up in your present. You want to be wealthy? Start thinking, acting, and deciding like someone who already is. You want to be a leader? Walk into rooms like one, speak like one, sacrifice like one. You want inner peace? Then stop feeding chaos and start choosing alignment with every breath. The bridge between who you are and who you're becoming is built in today's decisions. Every time you delay, you teach your subconscious that your future doesn't matter. But every time you act in alignment, even when the results haven't caught up yet, you accelerate time. You compress years into months. You collapse distance between vision and manifestation. You bring the future forward by refusing to live as anything less than the version of yourself you know you could be. So live today as if you've already arrived, because the world doesn't respond to your potential. It responds to your posture. Unleash the non-negotiable mindset. There is a level of power you unlock when your standards are no longer up for discussion. When you stop needing motivation. When you stop making decisions based on feeling. When you say, I don't skip workouts. I protect my mind. I build, even when I'm tired. I speak truth, even when it's hard. I execute, no matter what. This is the non-negotiable mindset. It's the zone where your dreams stop being optional. It's the shift from hope to command. This is where average breaks. Because most people are only committed until it's hard, until they're tired, until someone doubts them, until life punches them in the mouth. But the non-negotiable mindset says, life doesn't decide how I show up. I do. This isn't about perfection. It's about refusing to retreat. It's about being more loyal to your purpose than to your pain. And when you live here, something wild happens. The doubt gets quieter. The distractions lose their grip. Your steps become heavy with conviction. And people start to notice that there's something different about you. Because there is. You're no longer negotiating with mediocrity. You're executing destiny. Become the storm. There was a time when storms scared you. Now, you become them because you've learned that life will never stop throwing chaos. So you stopped waiting for calm and started carrying your own clarity. You stopped praying for easy and trained for strength. You stopped begging for peace and started protecting your inner world like it was sacred ground. You became the kind of person the storm avoids. Why? Because you are the storm. You walk into challenges with fire in your lungs. You look at fear and move forward anyway. You don't need backup. You became your own army. You don't need applause. You bring your own thunder. You don't need to be understood. You speak in lightning, and the right ones feel you. This is what happens when you stop playing defense with your life. You start building a fence with purpose. You take territory. You shift the atmosphere. You change the game. So let the world bring its waves. You've built an anchor, and your name is undeniable. Final ascent. The mountain was always yours. You've walked a long road. You've broken through fear, doubt, delay, silence, and the voices of every person who said you wouldn't make it. But now, you're standing at the edge of everything you've ever wanted. And you finally realize it was never about the mountain. It was never about the external things. It was about who you had to become in the process. Because the real win is not the house, the title, the applause, or the bank account. The real win is that you didn't quit, that you kept walking, that you rose every time life tried to bury you, that you became the kind of person who doesn't need the mountaintop to know they're already royalty. And now you take the next step not out of desperation, but dominion. Because you know who you are. Because you know what's inside you. Because you've earned every scar, every lesson, every inch of this path. And the next step, that's not just progress. It's a declaration that the old you is gone, that the future is yours, and that no matter what life throws, you are every day one step closer to success. And nothing, no one, not time, not fear, not failure, can stop you now